Hello, hello, hello. It is I, the Mad Poet. We are now heading towards the completion of 5,000 poems. That's right, the five big ones, the five G's. We're going to be going through the next 1,000 poems, starting, of course, with volume 41. Let's get into it. It'll be spread out throughout the days. You guys, if you've been paying attention, know how this goes. Drop of water into a ripple of peace, before all things still and begin to cease. The moon descends beyond a lonely shore, as the boatman takes another memory to store. What matters to tame in all that we might, not to become victim to evil on sight, so as to not fall into the pleasures of hate, and instead move towards a better future and fate. Dawn of the sky, and who should Dawn of the sky and who should come seeking, but curious birds that come around peeking, tilting their heads side to side, listening to tales with nothing to hide. Though one thing ends, we still move on, to wake to a new day, to wake to the dawn, all towards a chapter to begin anew, as we focus on the things that we must do. Chapters taken in which we've delighted, with all the words we've gone and we've cited, to look back when we forget, to drown in our system ever to set. Born of a struggle, I question my place, in between the fears and failures I face, trying to find what I can't see, figuring myself out and who I'm to be. How did we get here without even trying? Laying on the ground as if we're silently dying. Questions we asked we never made clear, all while staring into the face of our fear. What does it matter if we're on our own, wanting to reach places we've only been shown, all with the sense of the craft that we make, while trying to figure what it is we should take? If things would fall, would it be a pity to lose that job or place in the city? And if they did, what would you do? Would you be aimless with no sense of a clue? We must. What what must one do to avoid a burnout? To relax a little with no reason to shout, with all the things they do in a hurry. When there is no rest, it's time to worry. Born of a system to be so elated, towards an era never so fated. Is it my choice when I haven't a clue of what path to take or even to do? In time's flow, when all things must rest, stillness comes. Falling behind, I begin to fret, while trying to climb the goals that I set. All on my own with no helping hand, struggling not to fall in order to stand. How can it be, these things I see, not meant for me? Still I ask why, as I hold in a sigh, it continues to lie, all in a pile, to temptation's trial, all the while. I have nothing to hold, though I've been told, patience is gold. Struggles of the mind, while trying to find purpose for a way to live. Bruises and scape, we bleed as we fall, pain shooting through while bearing it all. Still we pick ourselves up, for a purpose to go. Others may mock, but what do they know? I do not mean to be jaded with these eyes tinted green, but when childhood has faded, we learn what we've seen. One day will be glorious with no struggles or strife. Yes, that day will be glorious when we have eternity in life. Haunting words within my mind of critical words that have been unkind, with all things it comes to say, makes me question the worth of today. Where is the community among the shy who struggle alone with their own might as they try to step on out and become more bold before social anxiety freezes them cold? Sweet Red Riding Hood went off to the woods to play. Stories had been told of a wolf that lurked inside, but Miss Riding Hood brought a trick right up her sleeve with meat for the wolf in the time she chose to spend. While giving scratches, little Miss Red Riding Hood never seemed to care of the tales the villagers told. When she boldly went, for what better is a guard in her mind she thought, of which none would dare to fight than a wolf you've tamed instead. Proud wolf of the woods, tamed by the hunter and red, with her treats of meat and affection she would spread. Also that he might feed, yet fools of the villagers would go and cry out. It was girls on which the wolves fed. But how could they know of wolves who bent their head when the hunter came, dressed in colors of red, smiling as she went, right beside a wolf to ride, with the packs that he now led? Got a kind of a dual-sided poem, one on the side of the, yeah, you got it. Trapped in your bitter hate, with blindness in your eyes, why stay in such a state? What brought that was bought with bitter lies? Desires that come falling in line, all to come ensnare and entwine. What to do when caught in its hand, when none of this ever went planned? Why must I question the things I have done, taking away my joy, taking away from my fun? As I look at my hands that desire more, yet who else but I would step through that door? So many things I could do to lock right in and push on through, yet here I am not feeling at ease, all for the reason of not being where I please. Questions of the self towards their identity in moments of loss. There always comes a haunting that echoes in the mind, with laughter and its taunting towards the foolish and the blind. Does the snowflake question the essence of rain that moves by faster in a heavier lane? Does it regret the slow light movement onto the ground when it piles up higher as more come around? He who does not listen falls into sin, into temptation's selfish desires within. And what can one do when one goes astray? And what can one do when one's gone astray? But pray to God to return them one day. A haunting, waking us at night in cold sweat. Do you enjoy swimming in your dredge of hate as you float in the evil of your own take? If innocence is bleeding, then its blood is your fate. As you kill every moment your joy can't make. All the things I could do, Venus, all the things I could have done. Not Venus. All the things I could do versus all things I could have done. In lingering thoughts causing pain that leads to one becoming insane. Okay. People wandering aimless and lost, price of the mind and the body becomes the cost, as we enable that which is wrong, all for a group seeking a place to belong. You made wolves out of men, and now you're mad. It takes two to tango, so how did they become bad? You fault the system, but refuse to look inside, as your self-awareness has gone and died. So many places to sit, yet in your defiance you go sit in the middle of violence, all to get hurt, to have something to blame. In a way of life, you've turned into a game. Poor princess in a high tower, wielding victim mentality as your power, only to wonder where the knights have gone. Who would rather fight the dragon spawn? Poor princess in a high tower, wielding victim mentality as your power, only to wonder where the knights have gone, who would rather find the dragon spawn. If I had control of my time, what would I do? With all the things gone overdue, could I finally know some rest and peace, or would my worries still never cease? The art of breathing, exhaling worries away, and meditation. Nocturnal state of mind, only to wake at dawn, with the struggles of sleep to never be gone, all while our bodies becomes as heavy as lead. We sigh as we wake, while others sleep like the dead. I need to get better at reading these. Waking up groggy, pulling ourselves together. Looking outside, hoping for nice weather. But oh, what a shame when given more rain. At least the nature will have something to gain. We played among the streets back when we were all young, with all the adventures we had in joy. You speak with your lips, but your actions are hollow, so why should your words be something to follow? Good advice by one, yet holding no weight, as others can see by your emotional state. Lazy dog sleeping in the cool breeze of summer. He begins to snore. Struggles that come ever unwanted, like a thought in the mind, it came in and haunted. And if you asked, I haven't a clue, as I struggle still to think it all through. Victim to the system, what do you desire? You whose life is hanging by a wire. For the sake of some power and greed, sign a contract and you'll have all that you need. For what dreams of the Fae and... Oh, okay. What dreams of the Fae in autumn's umber, when all rest in their nightly slumber? Our paths converged, one and the same, all for a moment of an ethereal game? Always summoning whenever we write, sometimes coming easy, sometimes a fight. But every moment, with every breath, we still keep writing until our death. Voices coming softly with temptations of desire, whispering in our ear like a flicker of fire. Hiding a subtle smile, waiting for us to turn, only to grow wider when watching us burn. Drowning in sin, oh, how are you feeling? Bending your knee where one shouldn't be kneeling. Don't look at me with the actions you went to make, for when it comes to advice, mine you'd never take. The silence consuming within our nightmares. Many things I could have done during the light of the shining sun, yet here I am idling the day away, leading into a greater delay. May I be invited in for a bite? For I see there's quite a party inside. During such a beautiful shining night, may I be invited in for a bite? It would be such a wonderful delight. I would hate to ever be so denied. May I be invited in for a bite? For I see there's quite a party inside. I see there's quite the party inside. I should actually name this something. Thinking Vampire. Because a vampire can only come inside when they're invited, as most sources would go. But there are some sources where that isn't really required. How would I put this? I will name this the vampires. Question, I guess. If you guys have a better one, let me know. What questions do we seek when no one hears of all our worries and all our fears? As anxiety comes in whispering its lies. As anxiety comes in, whispering its lies. And another part of our courage dies. What do we have to offer a learning mind as it consumes everything it sees in kind? From children to adults learning still, what into our system will we go and fill? Moment of quiet, as time passes us all by, we learn to enjoy the fragility of life during our growing old age, for even this, too, shall pass. Lost Princess of the Moon, will you sing or play a tune to the world who forgot below? What signs will you go and show? Child so pure was hidden away and orphaned. Meeting by the riverside of those who normally hide in the shadows others can't see, who come and sit beside me. Curiosity of a child as they explore the wild. With no sense of hesitation, they go on with full dedication. I have fought for my side to obtain what I must among the friends of those I trust, lest I fall into an eternal decay, to waste away until the end of day. My hesitation brings me all this worry in paralysis. Floating in space, making my tired case to those I can't face, no longer being able to trace. Call me Major Tom in this place. Making friends is hard when locked inside, away from the world you've denied, all while being fully self-aware that you consider the outside a frightful affair. Answers given, so why should we worry of results that never come in a hurry? And should we fail, so be it, for what does it matter in the places we sit? Shadow of your youth that haunts you as it follows, with regret's traces. They laughed as they fell into the place no man should dwell, yet their whispers still linger and talk of all those they betrayed who they mock. Piecing things together for an answer as they try and find this cure to cancer. And should they find it, why would they hide when they could have saved the rich who died? A minute of glory and fame before the call of obscurity came, bringing you back to your life of old. Now all you have is a story to be told. Circus act of a world on fire, thanks to fools. Wandering in the desert waste, all to go and get a taste of actions caused by the past that no one ever thought would last. What is a presence when you've gone unseen in all the places you've lived and been, all while feeling lonely and chained down, waiting for your moment and crown? Best things come when you're in a flow, moving to where the waves may go, with a focused mind into the deep, where all the ideas begin to seep. Winter's resistance, stopping the coming of spring, in its jealousy. Do we ever question the places we stand, of the history that embraced the land, that has gone all but forgotten, thanks to an education system so rotten? Moments of madness call me the queen, of red where the heads have been. So down the halls you call yourself Alice. Is it mercy when you're so full of malice? Is it the names we speak, fake or true, and is the name the one in which you're born? And if it is, whatever will you do when it's the name of a fae it ends up torn? Dwelling distractions occupying our moments as time moves on by. Nothing getting done as I stare at flashing lights laid bare in the screens we hold in our hand, no matter where we sit or stand. Nighttime wonders laid across my eye, of shadows and lights under moonlit skies, with deep topics of philosophy throughout, as you question your mind and its doubt. I felt the echoes within my mind, crossing my eyes and leaving me blind. All that was left was something to hear, with all the voices drawing so near. We lift, now together, calling brothers in arms, as forgotten men in wars fought and lost. Okay, so this one is a new poetic style that I wrote. It's the Pendulum Crossbind. If you find my channel on Instagram under Scribes and Men, it'll go over the rules of the Pendulum Crossbind. But basically, the beginning word must rhyme with the end word of the second line. So this rhymes with this rhymes with this, so it crosses. It has to be in 10 syllables. And it's basically every new stanza you use has to use a new rhyme scheme. So basically, we, be, she, see is like cross, 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 skies, lies, wise, jeopardize, cross, 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 cross. So, and then 10 syllables each. So this is essentially what it sounds like We embraced the sight of the midnight skies, lies that held in fabled stories to be. She held the balance of truth. She held the balance of truth, lest the wise jeopardize their knowledge in what they see. When the moonlit palace rose on high, supply the wise with lost knowledge to gain. Then, as they again. So when the moonlit palace rose on high, supply the wise with lost knowledge again. Then as they leave for a challenge to try, deny them not what's found in the domain. For who is willing to and ever so bold, gold is not. For who is willing and ever so bold, gold is not the treasure behind the door. More precious things than that are yours to hold, foretold by prophets in oaths that they swore. Also, the other thing is that much like a ballad, it is 4 stanzas long, no longer, no shorter. Yeah. Foretold by the prophets in the oaths that they swore. So sail onwards towards that which you seek. Speak not a word, lest come trials and woe, or at least come trials and woe. Know that many men are evil and weak. Leak not the place where you sail as you go. So yeah, that is how the Pendulum Crossbind goes. I need a name for this. It's a journey. I'll say it's the Moonlit Palace. Heavy is the ground in which my legs walk. Tired are my ears hearing people talk. Allow me to fade away from the world into bed, to rest my soul as I lay down my head. Build me a growing home, from words in place into a tome. Growing larger in libraries we live, along the knowledge we teach and give. Essence of youth wasting away every moment through every day, all while growing ever so old, but at least we have stories to be told. A moment of your excitement hung over. So many things we try to achieve, all while we go and believe in the dreams we wish to obtain, yet will we ever truly obtain? Start with a lie hidden inside of things you tell yourself that you denied. So you paint the truth to how you want it, even if in reality your facts never fit. Ever falling while in water sinking, into your own sorrow you end up drinking, all while wishing to be able to break free from the system that won't leave you be. Early morning dew at the dawn of a cool day, when summer began. Finding ourselves in strange places of people wearing strange faces, smiling in unfamiliar ways, offering us our end of days. Lessons to study, what did you learn from the pages of a book that you'd turn, holding knowledge they wished you to know, also that you may continue to learn and grow. Gifts given here, and here we are, stopped in a moment that never went far, all while standing awkwardly in place, while trying to present our case. Blessing of nature that brings the rain upon the land, so flowers can grow. Is the grass always greener on the other side, or are we uncontented with what we hold? Yet jealousy is a powerful thing to hide, before we make moves of a thief so silent and bold. So many things with everyone's desire to obtain or climb even higher, all while going through life in their own way, some to achieve and others to waste it away. What would you give for a moment of glory, to gain that fame as you tell the story, only to fade away after all is said and done? Would you still want your moment in the sun? Facing the mirror, staring at a reflection, wanting to escape. Are you fickle or will you make a stand when all becomes suddenly unplanned? What will you do when the chaos comes through? Will you take charge or float on by as you always do? And that is going to be it for volume 41. Join me once again for volume 42, and then so on and so forth, all the way up onto volume 50. Volume 50, which is an absolute beast. Until then, bye bye.